Okay, so now in terms of like being able to like keep after a diet,
Yeah.
for you for the week, do you like portion out all like do you cook, one day a week for like the week of what you're gonna eat? Or
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, preparation is key with anything, right? Just like, even just running a business, right? If you're not prepared ahead of time, you're not gonna, you're probably going to fail. So it's the same thing with your nutrition. Um, so yeah, what I'll do is I'll have a bunch of chicken that's cooked, um, possibly some meats.
okay.
I'll have some rice. I'll have some potatoes. I keep it pretty basic. I'm a pretty busy guy, so I want my time spent being productive and not just in the kitchen always just prepping food like that. And I
So
also
how long
I
per
have
week
a,
does
I
it
have a
take?
family, right? So I want quality time with my wife and my kid, and I don't want to just spend all day in the kitchen like that. So
So how
I
long does it take you?
I've got it pretty mastered, but I can probably do a lot of my preparation within probably about an hour,
Okay.
hour and a half. But I'll do that maybe on Sundays and Thursdays, so I'll split it up. So I just won't do it, for the entire week. I'll have a couple days where I kind of split it up.
Okay, so now for everyone watching this, because this is where I struggle. I'll wake up, I'll eat breakfast, have my coffee, eat some breakfast.
Yeah.
Lunchtime comes around, I'm not always eating lunch. Then I'm like snacking, and then like dinner time comes, and I'll like slam like a huge dinner time meal.
Yeah.
So like I'm not really a huge weightlifting guy or
Yeah.
whatever yet. I want to be
Yeah.
yet. But what are some like midday snacks or ways to like get your macros in? When you're kind of on the go, and maybe you're not around a microwave to heat up meals. Like,
Yeah.
what are some like easy snacks?
That's a good question. So I always ask a lot of my clients. I'm like, I tell them like, protein is probably the most satisfying macronutrient. It takes the longest to break down as well.
Sort
So
of like fills you up the longest.
it fills you up, yeah. So if we can get like a nice hearty breakfast in, or whether it's eggs or low-fat cottage cheese, or even just like a protein shake or something like that. Even some like good deli meats are even fine. Just to get some protein in, that's going to kind of hold you over.
Okay.
And then until you get to your mid-afternoon, if you want to call it a snack. I'm not a firm believer in snacks. I feel like snacks kind of lead to more hunger issues down the road. And I think that's kind of what you're getting into.
Yeah.
It's like you have a snack and you're like, oh my god, by the time dinner comes,
Dude,
you actually
I'm
want a meal.
starving.
So instead of having just a snack, let's have a whole meal that's actually caloric dense with like a protein, carb, and a fat, right? So it slows it down a little bit, right? So like something that I would have, or a lot of my clients would have, would be like some form of lean protein source, whether it's lean beef, whether it's fish, whether it's chicken, whether it's turkey, and then you can accompany that with a sweet potato, red potatoes, brown rice, quinoa, white rice. You can add your vegetable for your micronutrients. It could be any kind of greens, peppers, mushrooms, spinach, Brussels sprouts, green beans, and then have a healthy fat too, right? That'll slow down the digestion of that meal. So I'll use avocado. I'll use whole eggs, coconut oil, olive oil.
Do you cook with coconut oil?
No, I just use I use Pam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I use Pam. If I'm doing like eggs or something like that, or.
Okay.
But so yeah, so if you have a meal that's a little bit more balanced, you're gonna probably not be as hungry when it comes to dinner, and this way you can kind of just have like another balanced meal when it comes to dinner and not feel like you need to gorge yourself and feel like crap.
Here's a good question.
Yeah.
So, is it true that, because like it's my mom always tell me, well, whatever. But is it true that slamming like a giant meal before bed is worse for you than like maybe if you had that giant meal like for lunch? Does it really matter, or?
It still comes down to calories in versus calories out. The timing is kind of really irrelevant. It also depends on like what you're doing as far as exercise. A lot of people would they work out in the evening, so their post-workout meal is their last meal of the night.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the person and what their situation looks like. But let's just say that you were working out in the morning. I like my clients to actually have a meal that consumes of a protein, carb, and fat before bedtime, so this way they can kind of use that fuel for their morning workouts.
So does that debunk the intermittent fasting of like eating 1 hour at night and then not eating till like noon the next day?
Again, that really depends on the person. I mean, if someone likes to eat in a certain window, then go for it. If it fits their lifestyle, if they're busy and they're just not a breakfast person, and they could adhere to eating from 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock and they shut it down, then go for that. But all it is just a smaller window to eat less calories.
Okay.
Right? If you're up for 16 hours a day and you're eating for those 16 hours, you're probably going to eat a little bit more calories than in a window of 8 to 9 hours, correct?
Correct.
So that's kind of where I see, like...
So as long as you're getting the calories in and the protein in,
Yep.
It doesn't matter whether you eat it all in one meal or if you span it out throughout the day.
I still believe in having protein at each meal for protein synthesis purposes. You want to get the right amino acids to kind of spike every 3 to 4 to 5 hours like that.
Okay.
But carbs and fats can vary really based on your preference. I know some people that really respond well to having a nice big pre-workout meal, and I know some people that don't like to have a lot of food in their belly when they go to work out. So it's trial and error. It's, for me as a trainer, it's getting biofeedback from my clients and seeing how they feel and how they respond, and and just collecting data on them. And once you have some data and you can see how they're looking, how they're feeling, and then you can kind of help them and let them know what their next move would be.
Do you eat ice cream?
Do I eat ice cream? I'll eat ice cream.
Put some ice cream down?
I'll definitely put some ice cream down.
Thanks for watching our video. If you want to see more, subscribe, like, comment, let us know how we did. If not, you.